Well, looky here. You are listening to someone who is bold, authentic, diverse, unpredictable. Baby, I am unapologetically Ramon, and you have entered my zone, the QB zone, baby. Hello, somebody.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Ramon Marquise, and just had to come to you guys just to do a little housekeeping. Other than being a podcast host, I am an author, and I want you guys to bless yourself with one or all, if you want to, of my books. My books are available on Amazon.com, Kindle. You can also get them on iBooks, or you can go to my website, RamonMarquiseOfficial.com. That's RamonMarquisOfficial.com. My first book is entitled District 69, the Crimson Edition. We have District 69, the Color Haven. My third book, District 69, the Greek Chronicles, and those are a collection of short stories. They are not all my stories, because I ain't finna give y'all all my business, but it is a collection of my stories and those of others. My next book is called A Poetic Exhale. It's my first poetry book and my first book to go number one in its category. And then my fifth book, which is my newest book, it is called Icebox, Rebound, and Recover. So go ahead and treat yourself or a loved one or someone you know to any or all of my books. Once again, you can get them on Amazon.com, Kindle, iBooks, or my website, RamonMarquiseOfficial.com.
Rock Legion.
So I want to welcome everyone back to another episode of the QB Zone. I'm very excited for today's episode. I'm very excited because of the guests that we will be having a conversation with. Today we're going to talk about self-development, something that I have had to go through a process with. And to be honest, it's probably ever changed. Probably something I will continue to go through as I get older. So today's special guest that we are going to discuss self-development with is going to be a wonderful young lady. She is the CEO of Mesh Dollhouse. She is a wealth of knowledge and experience. And so today I want to welcome down to the QB Zone Miss Tameshia Sexton. How you doing, lady?
Hey, I'm glad and happy to be here.
Hey, man. Good to have you. Listen, so self-development. I'm sure we both have had moments in life where we've had to grow and improve and develop ourselves into who we are today. And so in first step is, what does self-development look like for you?
So when I had initially before I even started in my journey, I never had even understood what self-development was, why it was important, and why it was really a necessity as far as being successful, whether it was in your personal life or professional life, because they go hand in hand.
Right.
And so once I had went through a few things in life, experienced domestic violence, just bad relationships, always around the wrong environments, just different things. It was like, okay, I need change. I need to do something that's going to be different, but it got to start with me. So I really started evaluating self, whether it went from self-development, self-love, self-care, self-esteem, self-confidence. I went through the whole 9 yards because I really felt like I needed to be grounded within me in order to actually be better, when it came to being a mother, being a wife, being a
Right.
friend. You know what I'm saying? I had very poor relationships just based on the relationships I had, in my past and, experiencing trauma and things of that nature. So self-development to me was either identifying to the skills that I already had and learning how to enhance them, or learning new skills and then continually advancing as far as my growth professionally or personally. And so I kind of honed in on what I knew I had within me already, and just started kind of sharpening myself in that aspect, and then continually started learning more and developing more from them.
And a lot of times when it comes to change, change can be scary. Change can be uncomfortable. Were you afraid? Were you nervous? Was it something that it took a gradual amount of time for you to put the steps in order to do your self-development, or how did that happen for you?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a journey, right? So I tell people all the time, even where I'm at now, when people see me, they're like, "Oh, you so consistent," or "Oh, you're very disciplined," and so forth. But the truth is, this is an everyday journey, so it's intentional. You got to wake up every day with the intent of I want to better myself. So it has its good days and it has its bad days, because like I said, people can see me as being consistent, but in my mindset, I'm not consistent enough. You get what I'm saying? So every day is another step forward or another intention to want to get better and do better for myself. So now and where I'm at now, being within this framework in the last 5 years, it has become a lot easier. But for somebody starting off, and just, making that first decision to say, I want more. Yeah, it can be very difficult because the first time that you hit a challenge or a roadblock, you're ready to revert back to what you know. You're ready to go back, get back in your comfort zone. So it can be very challenging, but it all starts with the mindset. And I tell people all the time, your mind is the boss, your body is the worker. So you have to put in your mind that I'm going to get up and get it done, regardless of what the situation is. I have to set my mind to say, I want more, I'm going to do more. And regardless of what my challenge is for the day, I'm going to get through it.
And I think what I relate to, and I think what a lot of people relate to is when you stated, having the wrong people around you. A lot of times we can have the wrong bad habits. A lot of times we haven't done a self-evaluation of ourselves. And so I think when you are dedicated in your mind that I want better for myself, I really feel like the mindset is probably half the battle. Because a lot of times we already tell ourselves, oh, this is going to be too hard. I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve better. And so I think one of the things that I've definitely worked on is the mindset. Dedicating myself. And you said a key word, a word that I love, and that's intentional. You really do have to be intentional that I want better for myself, and these are the steps I'm going to take. And so I think that that's something that's wonderful that you pointed out. Really being intentional and dedicated. I think that's amazing. Going through your journey and going through your process, did you have a village? Did you have a support system behind you? Or was it kind of, I got to put on my big girl panties and do this by myself?
So the crazy part is when I, went through 10 years of domestic violence in 2 different relationships. One of those relationships, I was married for 7 out of those 10 years. So when I left out of those relationships and finally made a decision that I was betting on self is, was the only priority. I realized that I did not have anybody around me that I felt understood me. See, I had friends and family, but when, truth of the matter is people will tell you all the time, oh, I understand. And, but if you ain't really lived it, walked it, you don't really understand what I feel, how I feel, why I'm angry, why I can't forgive or whatever it was that I was going through in the moment. So I prayed on it. And I was just like, I want to be around women that I feel understand what I'm talking about and can relate to me. And that's how Mesh Dollhouse was birthed, because I was sitting in my mama's front yard, me and my sister sitting in the car, and I heard God whisper in my ear, you are the answer. Like, it ain't no go searching for it. You are the answer. And gave me the name. So I was like, well, damn, what I'm gonna name it? Or, what it is. And it was a lot of my issues was confidence, being that I was in domestic violence relationships, dealing with physical abuse and emotional abuse. Like I said, that word self was very important to me because I feel beautiful because of the things that I was experiencing. I was gaining weight. I was, just going through a multitude of things. So I thought, okay, Dollhouse, Mesh being my first name, but then Dollhouse, because when you come to a dollhouse, what you coming to do? You coming to get beautified, you coming to look good, you coming to feel good, and you're going to leave out great. So it was like Dollhouse. And so it was like, okay, you are the answer. So I started creating what I wanted to see. And that's how I started, with the empowerment group first, which was collectively bringing women in who had some of the same experiences that I had, and they needed guidance and, was trying to figure out, well, you don't look like what you've been through. So how can I get where you at? And so that's how I kind of started, just gradually teaching what I was doing myself to other people. And then it grew from being an empowerment group to me doing mentorship and coaching to, just continually, snowballing after that. But I made an intentional decision that I would be the voice, I would be the person, I would be whatever it was that I wanted to see. I was going to become it and create that tribe. So that's what I did.
That's amazing. I can say that being on the outside looking in and remembering when you started Mesh Dollhouse and just how it has grown so much over the years, and just seeing the motivational things you post, seeing how you conduct business, how you keep it real. I must say that it is inspirational, not just for women, but for men as well. So I think it's amazing what you're doing, and definitely wish you all the best success. And I look forward to seeing how even greater levels you achieve. I think what you're doing is amazing. So I'm very happy for you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So what are some of I know for me, when I started a journey of self-development and just wanted to be better and do better, some of the obstacles that I ran into was confidence, was a lot of doubt. And I think for me, it got cloudy in regards to a lot of trauma that was happening one after another, with people dying and things like that. So those are some of my hurdles that I feel like maybe stagnant or maybe slow down my process. What are some of the hurdles that you ran into on your journey, and how did you kind of push through and press through all of them?
So when I started Mesh Dollhouse, I had just came from out of different situations. And my biggest situation or traumatic experience that I had, which was the really like the push that led me to start my business, was when I decided to leave my ex-husband. There was a lot of different things that happened. And this is why I talk about accountability, I talk about forgiveness, and I talk about, again, the component of self and making sure that you put you first. Because a lot of times we allow our family to get involved in our relationships. We take in opinions from people who don't have no experience at all. And it can cause a lot of different things. So over my time of being married for 7 years, there was a lot of anger that got built up, because what I had been doing was, of course, if I'm mad and going through different things, now I'm running back and talking to my family, and I'm running back and talking to my friends, and I'm, trying to cry out this hurt, but not realizing that every time that I made a decision to go back and to stay, I was done with it, but everybody else still felt some type of way on the information that I now gave them. So they can't forget what I talked about when he hit me. They can't forget about when I say, I done been pushed out of a cart. They can't forget that stuff. So what ended up happening was, and I had to take accountability, and I also had to go through this process of not blaming myself, because when I made my decision, I said, I'm done, I'm leaving. Like I said, it had been a lot of tension between him and my father. And what ended up happening was he attempted to kill my father when I made my decision to leave. Wow. And so for a long time, when I was sharing my story, it was almost like a blame thing. And I was blaming myself. And I had to come to a point of term as far as accountability and understanding what I could have did differently in that situation. Because at the end of the day, what was right is right and what's wrong is wrong. He was wrong. But my accountability in regards to things that helped to lead up to that situation, I had to learn to take accountability for those things. And then I had to also learn that he a grown man and he was going to do whatever he wanted to do regardless. And so it wasn't about me. The reason why he chose to do what he did, it had nothing to do with me. It was because of other things that was, a factor in that.
Right.
So it took me some time to press through when it came to that and build on an accountability. But then the women empowerment is another thing that came behind it, because my main, outside of the emotional abuse that I was going through, one of my main reasons why I left was because he had a child out of wedlock. And I found out about it. It took me a long time to forgive, not just him, but to forgive her. But it took me time to realize that she only knew what he told her. She only can go based off the feelings and the emotions that he made her feel. And if he was slick like he was with me, then damn it, I know for a fact he made her feel some type of way too. So it took me about 2 years to forgive. It took me about 2 years to hold myself accountable in the situation, to be able to do something different. Because see, the problem that we have as people is that if we don't take accountability, what you end up doing is taking it from one situation to the next. So then you in your next relationship and you trying to figure out why everything seems the same. It's because you the same. It's because you still carrying on the baggage and you ain't doing, you know, that self-reflection. You're not doing any of that. And then you just moving from relationship to relationship and trying to figure out why ain't nothing changing. So once I was able to do that and come to a point of forgiveness, me and the young lady actually was able to, you know, have a conversation, and it was all honestly by chance. I prayed on it because I couldn't find her, not on social media, no nothing. And I prayed on it. I said, God, I'm ready to forgive and I'm ready to move on. However it need to be, make sure that we, you know, come together. And Lord and behold, like 2 months later, we came walking across each other's path, going into the same building. I was going to work and she was going to work. We didn't even know we was working in the same building.
Oh, wow.
So once that happened, and now that's been about 3 years since that happened. But now me and this girl is like this because we both understand that we can't fault each other for what each other felt about a man. And at the end of the day, who was right or who was wrong, it don't got nothing to do with it. We got kids now that's involved in this situation. So when I talk about empowerment, I talk about empowerment from a real place because I got to live this. I ain't just out here, you know, saying, oh yeah, go be, you know, this woman's, you know, accountability partner and push her and motivate her if I can't do it myself. I had to get to do that. And so now me and this young lady, outside of our kids building a relationship, we help each other with business. She sent me business grants. I sent her business grant. Matter of fact, we going to Sarah Jake's Roberts. We going to the revival next month. Like, that's
awesome.
I live this for real.
Right. And I think that's what makes you effective. I think that's what is going to continue to allow your business to grow, because it does come from a really transparent place. You're going by real life experience. And like you said, every day you're living that and it transfers over to your business. And I think that's awesome. I know when it comes to self-development, some of the activities that a person can do, I came across a few and I want to get your feedback on that. So some of the activities are set goals for yourself. And I know you talked about a lot of these already. Surround yourself with people who want to see you do well. Someone once said, you are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. Ask yourself if the people you are spending time with want the best for you and your life. They should align with who you want to be.
Yes.
Next one is evaluate what isn't working and eliminate those habits. Learn a new activity or skill. Eat healthy and hydrate daily. Have compassion for yourself and others. Compassion is a huge factor in how you perceive life's occurrences. To learn how to have compassion for yourself and others, family build. Some people offer compassion classes to help them learn how to cope with life's obstacles. And I think you touched on that when you talk about your experience with the young lady and how you guys were able to move forward with that. And then the last two is clean your space regularly, physical space and mental health space. And then last is just get active. Not only is getting active good for your physical well-being, but it's also good for relieving stress. What do you think about some of these activities in regards to self-development?
All the above. All the above. And the reason being is because some people look at these activities and they be like, oh, I'm not going to do that. That's more time away from, you know, A, B, and C. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at the people who are successful, the majority of them, if not all of them, have some form of a routine, whether it's a morning routine or a night routine. They have some form of a routine that they stick to every single day. And success is repetitiveness, whether you want to believe it or not. Success is repetitiveness. You're doing the same thing every single day and you're perfecting it. And then you're continually adding on additional goals and doing different things. You're continually excelling because you're continually reaching higher for more things. So all of those things that you made mention of are all important, and you have to figure out how to integrate them within your day. So starting off with a morning routine, my thing is how you wake up and how you start your day is how you're going to end your day. The mood, whatever you do in the morning to get yourself right. Some people get up, don't pray, don't have gratitude, they don't do nothing. So then you're trying to figure out why you stressed out all day. You're stressed before you even get to work. You don't want to go to work. Like, you're trying to figure out why you even in this feeling. It's because you ain't setting yourself up for your day. So it's very important. All those things, like you said, being active, like you said, not even physically. Active means get your mind active. Are you reading? You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't like to read, and now we're trying to figure out why we behind. Pick up a book. Go read. I look at something every single day. And even if it's just a page a day, I read something pertaining to self-development, something pertaining to self-care, self-love. If I want to know and practice how to be more happy, I read happy affirmations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
feed your brain what it is that you want. Put yourself where you see yourself. And the part of it is that, like I said, so many people want to get to success and want instant gratification so quickly that they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to take the little steps that it requires in order to sustain this big, this big vision or this big dream that you have. And then I tell people, even in the component, like say, sense of money, people be screaming out, "Oh, I'm a millionaire. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I want millions." But if you can't manage 1,000, how you think you're gonna get a million?
Right.
So it's the mindset that we have to condition first, and then everything else will follow. But most definitely, everything that you said on that list need to be some way, somehow implemented in your life.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that you talked about the morning routine, because I know that's one of the changes I made last year. For example, you're stressed, you're not in a good place, you should be worried about this, that, and the third. I wasn't setting for years, wasn't setting up my morning so that the rest of my day could be successful. You just going, stressed about this, stressed about that. When I got into a routine of one, spending more time with God, and making a conscious decision to feed that relationship, that includes listening to certain sermons, certain ministries that I follow. That includes me giving a devotional. You talked about you always read something every day about self-development. So for me, one of the things that I feel like I really need to work on was faith. And so I got a devotional that is specifically about faith. And so every day I'm reading something that is feeding my faith. And so I think that's dope that you mentioned it. And I think a lot of times we don't focus on the fact that how we start our morning will set the tone or the temperature for the rest of our day. And even like feeding our mind, you talk about picking up a book. I also wanted to improve in that area in a way that every month I want to challenge myself to read a really different book. I want a self-improvement book, and then I want, just say like a biopic, somebody's biopic, or just something different to give myself a balance. And I've noticed such a difference when it comes to feeding myself creatively, when it comes to how I handle a situation, when it comes to how I'm just maneuvering all that's going on up here. It has changed so much. And if a day goes by and it's like, wait a minute, it's 12 o'clock, I ain't do this, that, and the third, I will pause, because I'm like, I want to stick to that routine. I don't want to regress, because I have seen the results of when I feed myself in that way and I have that routine, I focus on that tone. Yeah, it's amazing. It bleeds over in different areas. Personally, professionally, it's amazing.
Yeah. And I read a devotion. I read a devotional every morning to William Murphy.
Okay.
He got a devotion. And listen, he updated every year. So it's a new one that come out every year. TheBlum.com, give you a scripture, give you your rundown. And it's a simple, like I said, a simple page. But the problem is that some people find themselves so busy, or they can't get, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you have to make time for self. If you don't make time for self, how do you plan or think that you're going to be efficient in life or be productive? You know what I'm saying? If you don't even make time for yourself. So William Murphy is definitely a great devotional read too in the mornings. And then in reference to leadership and things of that nature, I had started reading TD Jakes, Drop the Mic. Okay. That's a good one too.
I'm gonna add that to the list. Okay. Add it to my list for this year. We were on this journey of self-improvement, self-development. There are some patterns, there are some attitudes that I think a lot of times we can get caught up with and that we probably should try to avoid. So I came across the through of those, being negative. If you are still mentally projecting films in which everything goes wrong, of course, everything is going to go wrong. Changing that mindset. Waiting idly by, success is not going to come looking for you. If you do not move toward the goal, you will always be the same distance away. Not believing in your own success. If you convince yourself that you are never going to succeed, that's exactly what will happen. Blaming other people. You must take full responsibility for your actions. Blaming others for your bad situation is not the best way to overcome it. And then the last one, I know sometimes I've been guilty of this, not asking for help. If someone can help you achieve, if you know someone can help you achieve your goal, friends, co-worker, professionals, etc., and you don't ask that person for assistance, you are spoiling your chances of success. Moving towards personal growth does not mean not asking for help. What are your thoughts on those?
Listen, all the above, but I just said it last night was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I went live, and I do my interviews for my ladies who are on my billboard, because we're starting our billboard model search. And that was one of the very first things that me and her, we talked about, because it was a part of her journey in regards to her, her journey with the billboard. And I talked about help. We are so afraid to ask for help. We want to know all the answers. We got all the answers. We think we got it all. So we don't want to ask nobody for help. And my thing is, there's so many people out here that's willing to show you how to fish. And then you just got to actually take action and now go out there, get on that, throw that reel on out and get the getting. But we want instant gratification. We just want to go to the top. We don't want to take the stairs. We want to go straight on the elevator. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you got to get to a place where, one, you surround yourself with like-minded people. I promise you not. I would just went through my phone log and delete it. I do it very, very so often, boy. Not every 90 days or so. I'm going through my list. If we don't bring each other value, if I can't help you and you can't help me, what is my purpose of why I got you in this phone? I'm sorry. Delete. And if I'm going to have relationships with you, it's because you do something for me in some way, shape, or form. So even if it's just, for instance, my cousin, I don't talk to her very often, but every Sunday, she sends some form of a motivational message every Sunday morning. You're going to stay in my phone for a reason. Why? Because that helps me.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So we talk about the environments and talking about how we be around certain people. If these people can't help you in any way, shape, or form, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, whatever, you wasting time. And ain't nobody got no time to be wasting. We only got one life to live, 24 hours in a day, and you already going to work for 8 and sleeping the other 8. We ain't got time to waste. So it goes right back to the beginning of the conversation about that intention, that word intention. You got to be intentional about every single thing that you do in this lifetime, because it's going to all equate and count for something later. So all those things that you said, for sure. But that help is a big one, man, because we do not like to ask for help. And my thing is, get around some people that can help you elevate, or they know more than you. So you're always learning.
Absolutely.
So it's the reciprocation. I'm going to be teaching and giving you what I know, and you're going to be teaching and giving me what you know. So we reciprocating. And that's really what it's about. But people think that, if I ask them, they're going to say they're going to charge me. You know how many gems I drop every day that I ain't charging nobody for? You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of, are you going to pay attention? And now are you going to take the information that was given, whether a little bit or a lot? And then are you going to run with it? Because there's plenty of people that done came to my events. They're not a part of my coaching programs. They ain't a part of Mesh Dollhouse, but they done been around me. They done been in proximity. They done came to events. Guess what? Them people right now is a lot further than everybody else who may just be sitting and watching and not taking no action.
Hello. Yeah, that's very important. You come across a young lady, and she is struggling with self-esteem. She's struggling with the problems in her life. She wants to do better. She wants to grow. She wants to heal. She wants to develop into a better human being and let her light shine. What are some words of advice that you could give a person like that?
I'm going to say probably three things. One is connecting yourself to a mentor or a coach. I tell people all the time is that it's a shortcut. But see, people always think about money first. They think about, I got to spend money. Well, guess what? If this person got something that you want, or you see that whatever they doing, it works, you need to learn to invest in yourself. Everything is an investment, whether it's money, time, effort, energy, whatever. You have to do more. And especially in 2023, it requires that you do more.
Yeah.
So you can't be walking around talking about, I want to grow, I want to elevate, I want to change, I don't want to be stagnant, but then you scared to bet on yourself or invest in yourself. So being one, get a mentor or a coach, get somebody who done been where you've been, going where you're trying to go, so that you have somebody. You heard it said, copy the right cat.
Hello.
You need to get with somebody who, when you get with them, you can copy and you can mimic and you can look at the blueprint and then you can re-strategize and you can come up with your own plan, but you got somebody who right there willing to show you the steps. So definitely connecting with a mentor or a coach. I would say the mindset, because then when you connect yourself to a mentor or a coach, you got to have the right mindset. You gotta come in knowing, okay, I'm ready for change. And because I'm ready for change, that means I gotta be coachable. I can't come in trying to tell the coach what to do and how to do it.
Hello.
I gotta come in and be coachable. I gotta
Right.
come in and be open-minded to whatever information I'm getting ready to receive. And I tell people all the time, because I know I'm a very passionate person. Even when I talk with my hands, I move, I'm into it. So
Right.
don't mind all of that. Listen to the word, take the
Correct.
information, go
Correct.
implement whatever is for you. Because see, I talk a lot of junk, and everything that I say may not be for you. But that don't mean don't put it to the. I always tell her, put it to the back of your head. Just put it back there and let it sit in that box, because
Absolutely.
it may not be for you today. But in 2 weeks from now, a month from now, you may go back and say, "Damn, Misha had said that." And now you got some information back there that you can go and use and apply to whatever that situation is. So don't never think that because somebody talking, oh, it ain't for me, so I ain't gonna listen. No, I'm listening and I'm taking it in. I'm sitting it right on back here because it may come up later and I may need it later. So being coachable will be the second thing. Stay coachable, connect to a mentor, and then stay coachable. And then I would say environment, the tribe. Who are you surrounded by? Who you surrounded by? Because if you already feeling this way, if you get with 2, 3, 4 more that's already feeling like they going through depression, anxiety, they stagnant, they ain't got no movement, no momentum. I mean, then all y'all just gonna be doing it together.
Right.
You need to get around some people that can put some fire up on. I can cuss on here because I'm about to cuss.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
You need to get around some people that can put some fire up under your ass. You got to get around people who got momentum. You get around people who are not stagnant, who you see are progressing, because that's what you trying to go at. So you got to get on that train and get to getting. But again, it's gonna come with some investment, because it's gonna be an investment of your time. Maybe you ain't doing the things that you need to do, but now in order for you to get to where you're going, you got to put time in. You got to put time in to create your morning routine. You got to put time in to dedicate yourself to your goals, and that is all about investment in you. And so that would be my little spiel of what I have to tell her. And get a mind right and be ready to take action. Don't just come to listen or to just be there and say, "Oh, I was there." Nah. Take the information. Now you need to figure out how do you implement it and make change and take action on whatever it is that you're going for.
And I think investment is an important word, because if you're not willing to invest in yourself, how are you going to expect other people to invest in you and what you got going on? So I think it's awesome that you spoke on that. And then just being coachable. Like, for example, if you go to therapy, how are you going to try to tell the therapist how to do? You came to her for help, but yet you're going to try to tell her how to serve you, how to treat you. I think it's awesome when you brought that up. You definitely got to be coachable. You don't know everything, because if you did, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, and even with coaches and mentors, every coach if they don't got one, every coach need a coach. Every mentor need a mentor, because you still have to grow and develop. So if I've been doing this for 5 years, how you think I'm gonna maintain for 5 years if I'm not still growing, if I'm not still coachable, if I'm not listening to somebody else, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's about growth and elevation, and every time that you unlock a new level, you got to do more. So every time I'm reaching a new level, now, okay, I gotta go to this peak. I need to get with these type of coaches. I see what these kind of coaches doing, and I'm gonna say this because of social media wise. I know that now people connect coaches with money. People connect coaches with materialistic things, because on social media, people showcase this. So it's like, oh, the cars, money. I did this. I don't showcase none of that. You don't even know what's in my pockets. What you need to know is information. And what you need to be doing is trying to elevate to your next level. And you need to be taking this information so that you can get whatever monies or whatever, however you trying to get it. So I don't try to lead. I don't lead with that, because we're not trying to showcase monies, or I got this many people signed up, or that kind of foolishness right there, because it takes away, and then it make people think that they connecting to the right people, and in actuality, you trying to learn about business and business credit, but all this person can do is to give you motivational words. They can't teach you how to actually build your business credit. They can't teach you how to actually do whatever it was that you sought out to do. So I say that because the social media thing can have a lot of people messed up sometimes. So it's definitely important to do your research too when you connecting with different people.
Absolutely, because it's scams, and like you said, people just gonna mean well, they're not gonna feed you how you need to be fed. So people really easily get fooled by social media. Listen, I really appreciate this. This was a wealth of knowledge, and I know you have so much more to offer. I look forward to continuing just working together and benefiting each other, just learning from each other. I appreciate all the tips that you provide. And listen, I really appreciate you. This was a good time.
I thank you very, very much. And keep doing
Absolutely.
your thing. You know, I be watching, I be looking. Do your thing. Keep doing your thing.
I appreciate it. You take care, lady.
You too.
Well, that's it for the zone today. We are officially shutting it down. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, remember this. By improving yourself, the world is made better. Be not afraid of growing too slowly. Be afraid only of standing still.